What's up, folks? I'm Dwayne,
I'm Alicia.
and this is Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there.
Waiting to be played by you and yours. I'm a simple man, don't wanna complication. Hey, everybody!
As you know, getting Alicia to sit still and play a board game with me sometimes can be challenging. Because even though she's on summer break, she's always busy doing other stuff. But we have been getting it in.
So today, we are going to talk about 10 games that we have been playing lately.
Now, there's most of these games I played with Alicia, but there are some games that I want to talk about that I played with my other groups, And so, without wasting any time, we're going to get right into it. So, the first game we're going to talk about is a game we just recently played. I've been talking about trying to get her to play this game because it has historic theme.
Whatever.
And that game is Flatiron.
All right. So, before we talk about Flatiron, the game, I had to tell him that just because a game has a historical theme doesn't mean I'm going to like it or want to play it.
Well, as you know, Alicia can be a hard sell. So I got to use my selling points wherever I can. So I said historic, So Flatiron is a 2-player game where we are building the historic Flatiron building in Manhattan.
So historic that you have to stop everything to watch.
And it's a worker placement game where you're sending out your workers to these different spots on the game board. The streets, what is it, 22nd?
23rd.
23rd, 5th Avenue.
Broadway.
And when you go to that spot, you're going to either buy a card and slide it onto your game board, or you're going to activate that street on your personal game board. And so each slot can hold up to 3 cards, and you're either going to slot it in the top and get that top action, or slide it in the bottom and get the bottom action. And so if you activate the street, then you're going to do things like buying pillars to put on the building, or placing the roof if there's enough pillars to hold up that roof, or you're going to get money, stuff like that. The other place you can go send your worker is to the
City
Hall.
So ultimately what you're trying to do is build the Flatiron building, put the pillars on, and gain reputation, so you get points for all of those actions.
Yes, you're going to get points throughout the game, and you're going to, as you're going getting points out on the scoreboard, there's this newspaper token, the newspaper boy token, which we talked about in our favorite board game components of 2024. And he's going to fling you a newspaper, and it gives you a special action to take when you go to City Hall. So we played this 2 times. Did you like it despite
it not being historical? It's not whether it's historical or not. This game doesn't immerse you in history, if that's the selling point.
Okay.
However, did I enjoy the game? I love the game. I like I like the variety of actions. I do like that it's only 2-player.
Yeah.
So it's a head-to-head game, but I like the variety of colors. Like, I like the color selection, the color palette, the different pillars. I like
That's one thing I didn't point out. Like, when you put a pillar, there's 4 different color pillars. When you put a pillar on a floor, you cannot put the same color pillar. So you have to keep that in mind.
One of the things I really like is I like the asymmetry of the player boards. So each board, they each have the different streets, but each street functions differently on each board. So I think that makes it more interesting and exciting.
Yeah, that is really cool. And the fun part about it is I'm able to teach her how to be low-key cutthroat. Because when you put a worker out, when you move your worker, if her worker's on a street, I can't go to that street. So sometimes she might have all the money to build the roof. You know, it costs money in order to put that roof on, and it would get her a good amount of points. But her putting the roof on, her action might be at Broadway, so I might go to Broadway to do something, which means she cannot go to Broadway to put that roof on. So yeah, this game can be low-key cutthroat, but I really enjoyed it. I love the fact that we get to sit back and we made this building and everything. So I had fun playing this with you.
Yes, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that's the first game. Now, the second game is the game that Alicia has just been going gaga for. And that is Big Sur. Now, we recently went to Florida, and this is one of the games we took with us. So we played this down there in Florida, and then at our last board game meetup, Alicia did a teach of this game. And so in this game, you're building out a row of cards that represents the Big Sur Highway, a region over in California. And you are trying to build stretches of highway with these different icons. There's mountains, there's trees, there's wheat,
water.
Yep, flowers, stuff like that. And so if you get a stretch of highway if you get 3 icons in a row on the cards, then you have made a stretch. And at the end of the game, that stretch is going to be worth a point per mile in that stretch.
So what you're trying to do, obviously, is get the most points, and you get that by getting stretches, getting the longest stretches, getting landmark cards that give you bonus points,
or give you a special ability.
This is a quick game. It's a game that I think you can use to introduce people to the hobby. It's really card-based, but it does require some strategy and planning. So even though it's an easy teach and a low rule set, I think this, because of it being strategic and thematic, I think it's a great entry game into the hobby.
Yeah, so the thing is, how you place those streets, you have to spend your other cards as resources.
Yes.
And there's wood, there's stone, there might be a construction hat, and so you have to discard cards into your personal discard pile in order to pay the cost to put that street onto your highway.
So basically, your challenge is, do I use this card as part of my highway, or do I use it for the resources? So I think that tension makes it interesting.
And another cool aspect of the game is when you're placing a street, a section of your road, you can use your cards as the cost, but also you got your personal discard pile, and there's a cost that's face down on top. You can use that once per turn.
Yes.
So yeah, this is really, really cool. It also has a splendor feel, because some of the cards will give you resources throughout the game.
A discount, a perpetual discount.
Yeah.
Once you've played it.
Yeah. So, Big Sur, we've been loving this game.
Yes.
And like I said, she's been gaga over it. Now, speaking of our trip to Florida, there's a couple other games that we played. Now, one is a game that I've been wanting to get off my shelf of shame for a while. And so we finally got the chance, and that is Next Station London.
Now, Next Station London is a flip and write. But unlike other flip and writes, you don't use just a boring regular pencil. You use colored pencils, because each different color represents a different line in the London subway system. It is really visually appealing to use all those pretty little colors.
Now, if you think flip and writes are boring because of the pencil, you could just buy colored pencils.
Well, I don't think flip and writes are boring. And I love sharpened pencils, but the different colors just makes it even that much more appealing.
Yeah, that teacher and her, we had a pencil sharpener. She's like, let me go get my pencil sharpener. I'm like, we're in Florida. You got a pencil sharpener?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, I take my pencil sharpener with me.
Okay, so anyway, this game comes with 4 different color pencils. There's purple, blue, green, and pink, I believe. And what you're doing is you're going to get one of those colored pencils, and you're going to start creating a path or a line from that matching color station on your sheet.
Based on which card comes out.
Yeah, so you're going to be flipping cards, and it's going to, like, the stations are like circle, triangle, pentagon, and square. And so you're trying to create a line match to that matching shape, pretty much. And then we're going to keep doing that until that deck runs out. But then we're going to pass our color pencil to the next player in clockwise order. And then we're going to create a line for the next round. We're going to shuffle that deck up, and then going to start revealing cards. And so you're scoring points for getting your lines into the different districts. You know, the more districts you get those lines in, the more points you'll get. Also, if the district has a lot of stations that on that line, you get points for that. You're also going to get points for crossing the River Thames, how many times you cross that river. And then some of the stations, you can, like, connect with the other lines. When you're in the second round, you cannot cross, you know, in rounds ongoing, you cannot cross other lines that you draw. You can only connect through stations. And I think we played this like about 5 times. I played it twice, you played it 3 times. But I played it solo, and the first time I played it, I did so bad. So I was like, oh, no, we're not going to just go down with that. You know, so this is a really fun game. Now, I think they got I know they got next station Tokyo.
Okay.
I think they got next station France.
So what I like about this game is it's visually appealing. It's relaxing. To me.
And you using sharpened pencils.
And you using 3 color pencils. But it's so rolling rights can be kind of tough.
Because they're luck based.
Yes, I think this one is it's challenging, but it's not a brain burner. So I like that too. It's a more relaxing flip and right experience.
Right. I figured you would really like this.
Yeah, I like
but
that.
I'm glad I got it off my shelf of shame.
Well, I'm glad we got Flat Iron off our shelf of shame. Well, for me.
For you.
Yes.
Okay, because I've been talking about it all the time.
Yes, he kept telling me I would like it. Well, how will I know
right.
if I don't play it?
Now, the next one is a game that we took to Florida, and I took it because we went with a couple of our friends, and one of my best friend, he's like a heavy-duty poker player. He loves poker. Now, I've tried to get him to try out board games with little success, but I got him to play, and keep in mind, Alicia played this too, you know, and that is the game.
So, the challenge, well, you know, in the gang, you're basically you have however many players there are, can go up to 6 players without talking to each other. You're trying to rank your hands from the lowest to the highest.
And we're trying to break into this vault. If we succeed in ranking our hands correctly, there's discs. Let's say we're playing 4 players, so there's discs like 1, 2, 3, 4. So once we reveal, it's like Texas Hold'em. Once we reveal the cards, then we're trying to rank our hands, communicating with these discs.
So initially, it was extremely frustrating for our friend because he plays poker for real, and he was thinking, this isn't a good hand. So he had to really learn he wasn't worrying about whether it was a great poker hand. He was trying to figure out where did his hand stack up relative to everybody else's.
Yeah, we were trying to get him to understand that. And like he had like 2 pair, And in his mind, that's not a great poker hand. But I wanted him to understand, like, as you rank the hands, like, if the 1 pip chip is lowest, where the 4 pip chip is you consider the best hand. So if you see the other players fighting over that 1 pip chip, that means they ain't got nothing.
No.
No, it's the 1 pip.
Okay.
4 pip is the more powerful.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I wanted him to pay attention to where the poker chips are going.
So once he got the hang of it, we actually won twice.
Yeah. No. We played twice. We won. You lost the second time, and we won. We lost the first time. And we won the second time.
Right. Once he learned how.
Once he understood.
Yes. But the game actually is a lot of fun. I personally think 4 is the sweet spot, because once you start adding that 5th and 6th player, it gets harder and harder to win.
Yeah, we played it 5 player at the last board game meetup last Friday, and we played it 3 times, 5 players. Did not succeed. We came close, but we did not succeed. But we had such a good time fighting over those chips. So that's the game. All right. So the next game, so on this list, we talking about 10 games. There are 2 games that we got for a review. Now, this is the first game that Alicia was gaga over the components. When she first saw. Yes. Aqua Garden.
Well, I did. The components are adorable, and after having played the game, my opinion hasn't changed. But that's not the only thing I like about the game.
So, keep in mind, we've only played the base game, but we haven't played adding in the manta ray, and I want to say the fish is called Ramosa, and then there's a flapjack octopus.
Okay.
But anyway, in this game, what you're doing, I got it for a reason. In this game, what you're doing is you're building your own aquarium, which is a really unique thing, And so you have your worker and then you have your aquarium attendant. And so on your turn, you're going to move your worker around the track on the game board. And you can go as far as you want, but you can't go back. And the thing about it is whoever is the furthest back is their turn. So a player could get 2 turns in a row. But what you're doing is once you move to those spots, you can either pick up those fish and put it into your aquarium. You get to move your attendant 1 to 3 spots. And then you have to put that fish in that adjacent aquariums to your attendant. Thing is, these aquariums only have 4 units of oxygen.
So you have to balance.
Yeah.
You have to balance. One of the things, you have to balance what you put in with how much oxygen they take out. But one of the things you can do is you can put seaweed in your tank, and it
gives you
more
2 extra oxygen.
So you can put a little bit more marine life in there. But it's a nice puzzly game, and I think it's family weight.
It is very family weight. You're just building up your aquarium, and like I said, the fish, small fish, large fish, and the seahorses, they take up 1 unit of oxygen. But then you got your turtles, they take up 2 units of oxygen. You got that whale shark, that thing takes up 4. So that whale shark can just be in a tank by itself unless you put some seaweed in there.
And you have to make sure that you don't put a predator and prey in the same tank.
Exactly.
So you got to be careful about that as well.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be like, what happened to my turtle? No, you don't want to do that. But yeah, this game is really, really nice, really relaxing. Just, I really love the theme of this game.
I do like the theme. It is visually appealing and it is relaxing.
Yeah, and they supposed to come out with some more iterations like Dino Garden. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, Aqua Garden. This was really, really fun. So, keeping with the water thing. Oh, my apologies. I said there were 2 games we got for review. There's actually 3, you know. And this is one we got at Origins. We got the demo copy.
Okay.
Endeavor Deep Sea. Now, this game just won the Kennerspiel, strategy game of the year, pretty much. I think that's what it's for. But we played Endeavor Deep Sea. We played this about 3 times. And first off, how do you feel about this game?
Well, I think it's visually appealing. I like it. It's not. I like it. I think it is. It is definitely a strategy game. But it took a minute for me to kind of get the hang of it.
Yeah, it did. And you started doing well. So pretty much in this game, we are exploring the ocean. And we are moving down to different depths. Is that how you depths? Depths. And we're using trying to move up these 4 different tracks. There's inspiration, reputation. I want to say one's ingenuity.
Is it creativity?
It's something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, you're trying to move up these tracks because that's the way you score points. But it also allows you to get more powerful in your actions. So like reputation, at the beginning of your turn, you're going to recruit people to join your crew.
But you can only recruit at the first level. But if you move high enough on the reputation track, then you get to, in subsequent turns, you get to
recruit a more powerful character
at the 2nd or 3rd level.
Yeah. And then there's these discs. You'll get these discs at the beginning of the round, and that's how you take your actions. And so some discs you can just place one and you like dive or whatever, but you put it on your worker and dive, and then some discs some actions require you to place 2 discs.
But again, if you move high enough up on the track, you get more discs at each subsequent round, so you have more opportunities to take actions.
Yeah, also there's a track that shows you how far you can move in the ocean. You know, you might can only move one spot, but as you move up that track, now you can move farther. It also dictates when you do the sonar action, when you reveal a new location.
Yes.
You know, now this is pretty much, and I get where you're at. Keep in mind, I really enjoy it because I love the puzzle that this game presents. But this is a Euro game.
Yes.
This is a true Euro game. And what I mean by that is there is very little luck at all. You're making your decisions. The only luck is when you do the sonar action, you get to reveal 2 location cards. You're going to pick one and place the other one. And that's it. So there's a way to mitigate that a little. But there is really no luck. And the theme is you got your sub, and then you got the guys that you're recruiting.
And you have your sonar.
You know, some of the things that you're doing. But the one thing I really love most about it is the reveal. I love the first time when we demoed it at Origins, and I flipped over a second death, and it was like a bunch of sea turtles, and I immediately started humming the theme, the underwater theme in Mario 64. I was just immersed, and I think that's the best thing that I like.
Okay.
It's just that reveal as your ocean grows, and then especially when people are putting their disc here and they're moving up those tracks. I really liked it, and I think there's scenarios. We only played the first 2 games. We played the first scenario, and then the second game we did the second scenario. You know, so I'm ready to explore this game more. The cool thing about it is it can be played cooperatively or competitively.
We played it competitively.
Yeah, we played it competitively so far. So, but Endeavor Deep Sea, it deserved that Kennerspiel win. I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay.
You know, so. All right. Now, the next 2 games are games that we've talked about at extent. We did a video a few weeks ago about our Wanderlust worthy games, and so one of those games we talked about was Let's Go to Japan. And so we started playing it, and we have played it about, I want to say 5 times each now, because we played it 2-player 3 times, just you and me. And then we took it to our Tuesday night board game meetup, and we played it 4 players, because I wanted to see, like, in this game, you're on your turn, you're going to draw some cards, you're going to play one into one of your days, and then you're going to give the other one to the other player going clockwise. So, like, with me and Alicia playing it, we were just passing cards to each other. And especially halfway in the game, it tells you to go counterclockwise. We still passing cards to each other. So we took it to our Tuesday night group.
So it was a different experience playing it with 4 people. What I like about this game is some games are a different experience if you play it with 2, if you play it with 3 or 4. This game scales well.
It does. It really does.
It's very enjoyable if you only play it with 2, but if you add that 3rd and 4th player, it's just as enjoyable. So when we played it with 4 players, it was a lot of fun. And at the end, when we were going through our itinerary, we just talked about where we went, and we were making up stories. Oh, you went there too? Yeah, we met up for lunch.
Because there's multiple copies of certain cars. So they're like the Monkey Park.
Yeah.
One player went to the monkey park on Tuesday, and then we get to Thursday, like, I went to the monkey park. Oh, yeah, I went there just this past Tuesday or whatever. So, like I said, we played a 4-player, and then I taught a 4-player game, which included Alicia. And then I introduced this to my Friday night board game group. We played a 3-player. And everybody has so far really, really enjoyed this game.
Your Friday night group hadn't played this game?
Nope, they hadn't played it.
Wow, I'm surprised.
They hadn't played it. So, all right. Now, speaking of my Friday night board game group, like I said, I didn't get much Fridays played with them because, like I said, we were in Florida one week, and then we were at our board game meetup the next week. And so the other game that I introduced to them early in the month is a game that this is quickly becoming one of my favorite worker placement games, and that is Come Together. Now, this is a game I've been going gaga for.
It is.
So I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I do have a story. I did something mean.
Oh yeah, you told me.
So in this game, you have your volunteers, and you're sending them to these different spots in order to get a card, but you don't gain the card immediately. You don't gain that card until somebody activates that location, and then everybody who has discs there is going to get that card, and then depending on how many discs are there, people are going to move up these different tracks, and that's what you want to do in order to score points for your up-and-comers, score more points for your stars, or able to move up other tracks, or be able to hold more meeples in your tents, So we played, and I needed this one specific meeple. There's all, like the stars, the people that are performing, they require a specific meeple. So let's say the performer needed a country meeple, and I was trying to get that one country meeple, but the only spot was where I had to activate. But if I activated, it would have ended the game, and I was the only one in that spot. Whereas I also had a disc in another location with all of their discs. And we would have if I would have activated that location, everybody would have benefited from it. I just needed that one meeple. So I ended up activating my location where I had that lone volunteer. And I didn't need to move up any tracks. I just needed that meeple. And it really screwed. I felt so bad because that's not my MO. But they did enjoy this game. All
right.
Come Together.
We need to get that to the table.
We do. I think you'll like the theme, but I'm a little leery because it's
Yeah,
a
well,
lot of things you got to pay attention
If
to.
he do that to me, y'all, I'm not gonna be as funny as his birthday. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it then. But okay. So this next game is the third game that we got a review copy of. You know, and these last two games are games that I played with my Friday night group just this past Friday. And this first game is a game that I have been anticipating, honestly, because I like the whole concept of the game. But anyway, the game is called Vantage. And so Vantage is just a open world sandbox exploration game where we have crash landed on this planet. Where our ship was crashing, and so we each got...
You mean spaceship?
Yeah, our spaceship. And so we each got into our escape pods and got ejected from the crashing ship. And we land on different locations on the planet. And so pretty much we're exploring this planet and we're telling the other players what we find based on our vantage point. And no one can see your card. So this game has like over 1,700 cards.
Really?
Yes. Not all of them are location.
Okay.
And so pretty much on your turn, you're going to on your card there have different actions you could take.
Okay.
You know, for example, they might say you can greet, you can interact, you can steal, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's related to a different color.
Okay.
You know, and so pretty much you're going to roll these challenge dice. And you're always going to succeed, but depending on the challenge dice, you have like your health, your morale, and your time.
So it's what does it cost you?
Yes, what is it going to cost you?
Okay.
And so if a player, we start with a certain level depending on the difficulty level, and if a player runs out of either of those,
you've lost.
We've all lost.
Okay, so
you know.
So it's a cooperative game.
Yeah, it is a cooperative game.
Okay.
And so pretty much we are working together. We can share, resources. You got these skill discs that you can share with the other players. I was wondering how was that working because, like I said, we're supposed to be in different locations, but it's explained that we also have radio. We're in radio contact. Okay. So if somebody, we're always supporting each other.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I got that, Now, and I have played this game 3 times.
Okay. The
first time I did not enjoy it.
Okay.
And it's not the game's fault. We played it at 4-player. Now, so there are 2 reasons. I would only play this game like at most 3-player. It goes up to 6. There are very few games I will play at 6-player. This is not one of them.
Okay.
Because 1, there's going to be a lot of downtime. It is turn-based. So much downtime.
Okay.
And, also, you want to make sure you're playing with people who are embracing the exploration aspect of this game. That is on board, because it's going to be communication. You got to be able to describe your location. They can't see your location card, but you can describe it to them and then discuss, hey, these are my actions. And we openly discuss which action should I do. I might say, hey, I'm going to do this. What do you think?
Okay.
And so once you decide the action, then there's all these booklets that are connected to that action. You cannot change it. After you've decided, you can't change it. You're going to open it. It's a lot of reading. And you're going to open up the book, see how many challenge dice you need to roll, and then you roll that dice.
Okay.
And then there's different ways to allocate the dice to your character. And as you move through the game, you're going to be placing like 8 cards, which will represent either plants or tools or companions, stuff like weapons or whatever. And they will give you dice spaces where you can allocate those challenge dice.
Okay.
And so I really, like I said, I played it the first time, did not care for it. Without spoilers, we stumbled on it to an epic win.
Okay.
And I didn't get a chance to do anything. I don't even felt like I contributed.
Okay.
So once I got home, I set it up and I played it twice. First time I played, I lost quick.
Okay.
Second time, I did fulfill a destiny.
Okay.
And that's the whole purpose of the game. You're trying to either fulfill a mission, fulfill a destiny. If you fulfill a mission and a destiny, you got an epic success.
Okay.
So, but like I said, it's 170 cards in this game.
Okay, 170.
No, I'm sorry. I was right the first time. 1,700.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
It is a lot, but not all of them are locations.
Okay.
You know, some of them are, like I said, items you will find, plants you might find, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's so much. I really enjoy the open exploration. It's just like a relaxing, like you're trying to survive.
Okay.
That's your winning condition. You know, you want to survive.
Okay.
And you're taking, and it reminds me like people have compared it to Seventh Continent, which is a game I haven't played, but I did watch some video content. But there's a game that is in my favorite games is called Vindication.
Okay.
It's one of my top 20 games of all time. And Vindication has that same aspect, but whereas you know the location and you don't know if the location is going to appear, but it also gives you a bunch of companions that you can find to join you, and they help you in your quest.
Okay.
So yeah, as of now, I really, after 3 plays, I'm really enjoying Vantage. I'm looking forward to playing. Like I said, this is a review copy, but I did pay for the upgraded components.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, Vantage. I'm glad. I'm ready to explore it, and I know some people that I could play with that will embrace that exploration. I also like the puzzle of allocating that dice.
Okay.
Because some of them challenges are like 6.
Okay.
So anyway, that's Vantage. Now, this last game that I played with them is a game that you are not going to play.
What game is that?
You are not going to play this game.
What game is that?
Moon Colony Bloodbath.
Nope. Nope. Just the name. Let's just start with that.
This game is funny.
Okay, Bloodbath.
I know. I get it. So, let me tell you what the game. We are building a moon colony. You know,
Right.
and so we are drawing cards from this deck, and that would tell us like there are cards that allow us to work. And when we work, we can either go to mine, get some money, farm, get some food, build a building that will add more people to our colony. We might get some crates or whatever and put them on our buildings or whatever. We're stocking up.
Okay.
But then there are things that happen in that deck that will cause us to lose money or cause us to lose people. Now, how we end up losing people is the fact that we have decided that it would be easier if we build up some robots to have us do some of the jobs. The thing is, it says this, nobody decided to make an instruction manual. They just built the robot, like it can help us. And then the robots go on a fritz and we lose that, or we might lose 5 people or whatever. And so we keep adding robots into this deck. So now we're losing people. Our people are getting killed by these robots.
Yeah.
And so the whole base is when a person, it can either go to 13 events, I think it's 13 events, and then whoever has the most people surviving in their moon colony is the winner, or the game can end early when somebody has lost all their people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play that.
Now, I was the one that lost all my people.
Okay.
Which meant I didn't manage resources or whatever, I didn't. But I really am excited to revisit this game.
Okay.
You know, and so it kind of reminds me, there's a game that came out a couple years ago called Empire's End.
Okay.
Where you're building up your kingdom. You have your kingdom. It's already built up. But then you're bidding on these disasters of whether or not it's going to hit your kingdom. And it's kind of like a no thanks. If you got the resources, you can say no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. But if you can't pay the resources, that disaster is going to hit your kingdom. You also get those resources, though.
Okay.
Now, I don't know. I didn't care for the game too much.
Okay.
You know, now, and I say that.
So you're saying this is a friendlier version of that game?
I'm saying when a disaster hits, it hits everybody.
Okay.
It's not like hit one person, then hit another person. No, and that you can't afford to pay the resources. When that card comes up, everybody loses 5 people or whatever. So that's why I really
prefer this.
I prefer this one.
Okay.
You know, now keep in mind, guys, I know I'll be gushing about games. There are some games that that are just not for me.
Okay.
You know? But yeah, I know you're not going to play this, but I know some people in my Tuesday night group, they're going to love this.
Okay.
Because it's just hilarious.
Okay.
All right. So, that is 10 games. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's 10 games. All right. Like I said, we've been getting it in. You know, especially with Let's Go to Japan. So, in the comments below, let us know what favorite game that you played over the past few weeks. What game has been your favorite that you have been like, oh man, I love this game. This is really, really good. It could be a newer game or older game or a game you just decided to revisit, you know. So, and also, if you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button. Subscribe.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky.
I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
This has been Blackboard Gaming.
We will see you next time.